So I did the audition, and Raven sat back, and she was very quiet, probably for about 10 seconds. And I'm like, I don't know what this means because she's never really that. And she said, that was really, really, really scary. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I left. I left. I didn't think anything else of it. So yeah, so that was my audition.
Hey, welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you real life stories behind the scenes of TV and film and educational lessons that come with it. I'm your host and a talent agent, Jason Lockhart. And today we have a very exciting guest in the First Lady, Victoria Franklin herself, played by Kron Moore. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What a joy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you know, your agent, Jara Avery, just thinks so highly of you and was like, she's a must.
I love that. I love that. We have such a good relationship, and she is such a blessing to me.
Wow. Well, she got you on the Oval, right?
She got me on the Oval. Yes.
Can you take us back to that audition? Do you remember it?
Yeah. Do I remember it? Yeah. It was crazy. First of all, Jara sent me the sides for the audition, and reading it, I was just unsure as to whether or not it was something I would be interested in pursuing. Honestly,
Wow.
that's an exclusive.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, but I wasn't sure, just because, I'm just like, okay, this character, I've seen this character before, it seems. So I had to decide to bring something unexpected to the character, which we always want to do. You want to give them something different. But I'm like, I really, really have to flip this, because the way it reads, it was just very straightforward. She's just this mean lady, right? So I took some time and prepared. And on the day of the audition, I made one of the cardinal mistakes. Prior to walking into the audition, I read my email. I checked my email and got a notification from Jara that a show that I had been on prior, that I was really excited about, decided to cut the scene because they were going in a different direction. So I had a messy attitude by the time I walked through the door for my audition. And when I walked in, there was a room full of beautiful women, and I'm just like, okay, I've auditioned for Tyler Perry. I don't know how many times. I did day player work on his sets before, but never anything recurring. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, they're not gonna book me. I don't even know if I want to be an actor anymore. They cut the scene for this show that I really wanted to be in. I don't know. I just don't. So I had a really bad attitude.
I bet you used it though, didn't you?
You know what? It propelled me in the audition.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Walked in with Raven Drummer. She's his casting director.
She's so lovely.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. She's amazing. And I started my audition, and there was a knock on the door. So we were interrupted in the middle of my audition. So we had to stop. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a little bit of a distraction, but I even use that even more. I'm just like, okay. But I wanted to make the character really, really quiet and deliberate and reserved to a degree, so that her volatility would come as a surprise for the audience.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so I did the audition, and Raven sat back, and she was very quiet, probably for about 10 seconds. And I'm like, I don't know what this means because she's never really that. And she said, that was really, really, really scary. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I left. I left. I didn't think anything else of it. So yeah, so that was my audition.
You left your stamp in that room.
Yeah, evidently I did. A few days later, it was a Saturday, I got a call I was preparing for another self-tape, and my phone was ringing, but it was on silent. And it was on Saturday. I'm just like, it can't be important. It's Saturday. Somebody wants to hang out or whatever. And it just kept buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. And I finally checked it, and I listened to my voice because people were leaving voice messages and texting. I'm just like, what's going on? Well, Jara said, you need to call me as soon as possible. And Raven called. She's like, I need you to call me. Mr. Perry would like to speak with you. And terror swept over my body. Because I honestly, it didn't even occur to me. I didn't even put two and two together. Like, he must be calling me about this role. I'm like, I must have done something bad at the studio. Like, it never even occurred to me that, he would be considering me for this role. And then Tyler Perry, texted me.
Wow.
I still have the text message. It's crazy. And he said, hi, it's Tyler Perry here. I'd like to speak with you when you have some time. And I'm like, okay. I responded. I'm like, sure, I have time. And he called. And he, complimented me on the audition. And he said that I brought the colors to the character that he was looking for. And it was different than all of the other reads. And that was how that went. I cried. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, it just felt, this was my first opportunity, really having a I've had recurring as a lead on a show, and it felt really validating. I felt validated and seen.
Everything led to that. Everything you did.
Everything led to that moment.
Including reading that email before you walked in that room.
Right.
And I believe that you booked that because you were present in that room too.
Right.
You had your education, you had a resume, and you had a strong agent, and you made a creative choice that was consistent, and you were present.
Yes.
And you allowed whatever was going on to be real.
Yes.
I think that's why. But that's just what I'm hearing.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I used everything, all of the energy. I just channeled it into Victoria. The character's name is Victoria, and I think that brought her even more to life. It gave her even more flesh. So
She's
I'm
got a little
grateful for the
Lady
moments.
Macbeth in her.
She does.
Which
She
is
does.
one of the greatest female characters of all time.
Compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So take me to set. Who's one of the coolest people you've worked with, or something that you've really learned from somebody on set? It could even be Mr. Perry himself. Or another actor.
Gosh, all of my castmates are so amazing. I think I have learned the most from Tyler, though, and how he operates in his business acumen and how he relates to people on set. It's really interesting. His sets are run like no other. Anyone who's ever performed on one of his shows understands that. We move fast, and it's done like
2 weeks.
We do it in 2 weeks.
You're literally the star of a show with 50 weeks of the year off.
It's insane.
Isn't that nuts?
It's insane.
You have 50 other weeks of the year to book other things.
It is insane and a crazy blessing. I mean, just crazy. But from him, I've learned that there is more than one way to skin a cat. So on other sets, we operate very differently. On his set, we typically get one take. And so it forces the actor to show up with their choices solidified. It's almost like we're doing it live. We're doing a live performance, and you get one shot.
It's literally the level of preparation at a master level.
Right. I call it boot camp. And I refer to myself and my castmates as Olympians. Like we're athletes. As actors, we're athletes. We have to condition our bodies and practice our craft just like athletes do. But I think we are Olympians in that we perform 20 to 22 episodes over the course of 2 weeks. And for me, I generally get less than a week to perform about 2,500 pages of dialogue.
Meanwhile, we've got Stranger Things across town shooting 13 months all year
Exactly.
for one season.
Exactly. You know, and people ask me all the time how we do it, and it's just Tyler Perry, his mind, he just works differently than everyone else, and he has an expectation of preparedness, of course, which, you know, we should all be prepared. But I think another major thing I've learned from him is that you need to be prepared for anything. Be malleable. You might be throwing a monologue at the last minute. You just have to, you know, go with the flow, have an open mindset, and just have fun with it. Just know how to play. Keep it light as possible, you know. But, you know, be prepared. Be prepared for anything.
That's so much. This is great. I mean, this is great stuff. And like, I mean this in the greatest compliment. Like, you really do exude $1,000,000. Like, you look like $1,000,000. Which,
thank you.
yeah, of course. And I think the only way you can even get to that level is through that amount of work and preparation and dedication. And now you're years and years into this and still going, and who knows how long for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what do you think your future holds here? Like, are you preparing for anything? Like, what's next?
What's next? Well, I would really love to, you know, do some feature film work. But I am also interested in the production side of things.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Because you've learned a lot of ways to do things. But
Exactly. You know, I've had an opportunity to shadow Tyler and just kind of see how he operates on set and how everything works behind the scenes. And I'm interested in directing.
I was just going to say, would you ever want to direct?
Absolutely.
What would you direct? What genre?
What genre? Oh, that's a good one. I think I would probably start with drama because that's kind of my lane. But I'd really be interested in comedy. I mean, people don't know this, but, you know, I've been known to be funny. You know.
If they pay enough, you'll be funny.
I mean, you know, I think that would be fun and a different type of challenge. It's a different environment. You know, it's shot completely different than, you know, what I'm accustomed to. So I'd be interested in doing that.
Maybe you would direct some comedy.
I love it.
So thinking about outside the Tyler Perry universe, is there anything else that you've worked on where you're like, wow, like this was a really great career move or a great lesson that I learned and something that like aspiring actors could benefit from hearing just through your experience?
Oh, I didn't see you there. You might be wondering, what the heck is the Virtual Actors Summit? Well, listen up and I'll enlighten you. Picture this, a Zoom session that doesn't suck. I know, it sounds impossible, right? But trust me, this isn't your typical snooze fest where you're stuck watching someone's forehead for hours. We're actors. We know how to make things exciting. The Virtual Actors Summit is a 3-day extravaganza where you'll learn from the best in the biz. Guest instructors, agents, and casting directors. Think of it as a crash course in acting awesomeness, minus the turtlenecks and pretentious monologues. You'll get hands-on training. Actors will get real-time feedback and the chance to actually participate. No more passively listening while you're secretly scrolling on TikTok. We're talking active engagement here, people! Still wondering what the heck this is? It's your ticket to leveling up your acting career. Whether you're in a place trying to snag an agent, get more auditions, trying to book more acting jobs, this summit is your golden ticket to help you get there. And the best part? There's no upcoming union strikes to worry about. So there's no sudden plot twist here. So what the heck is the Virtual Actors Summit? It's your chance to learn some new skills, get re-energized, and not even have to put on pants. Register now, and I'll see you there.
Recently, I have worked on a show called Stargirl with the CW. And if for those who don't know, it's a superhero show.
It's great. It's a great show.
It's a really, really cool show. And that experience was very different than what I experienced on, you know, what I experienced on the Tyler Perry set. I've learned to appreciate the opportunity of having the time to spend with my castmates and to rehearse and the value of that, because you may not always get that. Like I said, you have to be malleable. On the set of Tyler Perry, we don't get to rehearse on set, prior to the scene with the director, so we have to take advantage of our time outside of being on set. But I learned on that set to really take advantage of, your time in the makeup chair, take advantage of, the downtime when everyone's waiting to be called in, and run your lines and actually get to know your scene partners. If you can, if you're recurring on a show, get to know your scene partners, and it creates some camaraderie, and it builds a level of trust. That's very important, I think, in acting, and chemistry. Yeah, so have fun, just have fun with everything.
It's fascinating to me that you just created a parallel I never even thought of before, which would be, if you're starting a new job, it helps to know your coworkers. If you're going to be a camp counselor, it sure would be helpful to know the other camp counselors, because you all have the same mission.
Exactly.
To make sure that the camp runs smoothly and is successful.
Right.
So why wouldn't it make sense to get to know your fellow actors with no egos and take advantage of the downtime you have to bond and learn, and then work together to execute at the same level of success?
Exactly.
At least what you're hoping for.
Right. And don't be afraid. There are leads on shows, and this may not be the case for every set, but don't be afraid to communicate with the lead of a show. They might surprise you, and be
So you
willing
do?
to.
You communicate with everyone on set?
I do. Like I said, take advantage of the hair and makeup, situation. I'm not going to go to their trailer. But, if I see them in passing, I'll stop them. Like, I've had an opportunity to work with Felicia Rashad, who is an amazing
legend.
She's legendary. And of course, I was a little nervous speaking with her, just because she's such an amazing force. But I took advantage of the time after I got the jitters out that I had with her off set, and just had conversations with her.
I hope she's on an interview right now somewhere talking about you too.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
You never know.
That would be
You're
amazing.
well positioned.
That would be amazing.
Well, one last question.
Yes.
Do you have a dream role you'd like to play?
Because
we could start hashtagging and reaching out and trying to help you get it.
That is such a tricky question. I would like to play a superhero.
And you're in Atlanta.
I'm in Atlanta.
DC Comics is here for years.
Listen, I'd love to play a superhero. Having been on a superhero show and watching them practice, the rope work and
Can you do stunts?
wire work.
You do any of your own stunts?
Yeah. I do stunts on Tyler Perry's. I have a stunt double, but yeah, I have done my own stunts. I need training, but I am willing to do that, and I think that it would be a challenge, but a fun challenge. So yeah, I just want to kick a little
You have the look
ass.
for it.
Thank you.
You never know.
Thank
You're
you.
putting it out there. We're putting it out there.
Let's put it out there in the
James
universe.
Gunn, if you're watching, she's in Atlanta. All right. Well, thank you for being here. It means the world to us to have someone at your stature here sharing information to help others. It's just so special.
I appreciate it, and anytime I can share any information, I'm more than willing.
Well, thank you. And as a reward for being here, what if I told you want a free car?
A free car.
I've got a little bag of cars here.
If
If you want to reach in and secretly pull one out, let's see what you get.
What do I get?
What'd you get?
Hey, I got a Ford. Oh, wow. I'm from Detroit. A Ford Matchbox. What is this? A Lincoln Continental, 1964.
A classic.
Wow. That is so cool.
That's a pretty badass Detroit car right there.
It is. Crazy thing. My dad was a mechanic. And he passed in 2014, but you know, he used to collect Matchbox cars. And so
Well, I
this
hope
is
that can live
amazing.
forever in your home and be loaded with positive energy and memories.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. It means the
Yes.
world. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. We just love putting on this show and hope that people are learning and gaining from it. And that said, if you would like to be a guest on this show and you have your own exciting booking story and a lesson learned, feel free to pitch it directly to us. It's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Thank you so much. And I hope something good happens to you today.
Hey, what's up? If you enjoyed that episode of Talent Agent Talk with host Jason Lockhart and our special guest, Kron Moore, then I have a feeling you're going to want to join us at the Virtual Actors Summit. Kron is one of our incredible mentors, and she's going to be joined by our other 7 mentors that account for over 800 film and TV appearances. So it's just the real deal when it comes to moving you forward in your acting career. And Jason is also going to be joining us, going over a special session where we're going to be diving into his archives and looking at different booked auditions from his talent. So it's going to be an incredible 3 days with the Virtual Actor Summit. So you'll find the link in the description. I hope that you'll grab your ticket, and we'll see you there.